everybody, thank you for joining me again. Today we're going to be talking about Karin Brush Marker Pro Neons. Now these are pretty new to the Karin markers family, and I have to say they're pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen any neon brush pens out there, but I haven't. If you have, let me know down in the comments below what brands make them. So today I'm going to be talking about what they are and how they're different, what sets they come in, how to store them, what paper to use with them, how blendable they are, and the upstrokes and the downstrokes. Now, I think that these are very, very similar to the regular Karin Brush Marker Pro. So a lot of the things could be repeats if you listen to my original Karin markers video, but I do want to compare the neon colors to the regular colors, and I get a lot of people asking me this question, so I want to show you a comparison of, let's say, a neon orange red to the regular orange red. I can tell you you're going to be pretty surprised on how different they are, so stay tuned. At the end of this video, I'll show you a comparison between the two. These are just swatches of the Karin marker neons. There's 12 new colors. So the Karin marker neons are similar to the regular Brush Marker Pro markers. They are obviously just neon, and they also have the liquid ink technology, which means that the intensity won't change as the pen starts running out of ink. It'll be pure pigmented until the very last drop. They're twice as efficient as regular traditional filter markers, and they have the flexible nylon tip that they're known for, and it's also replaceable, and they're filled with non-toxic dye-based ink. So the Karin Brush Marker Pro Neons, you can purchase them individually, and the way that you know that they're the neons is by the black label. The regular markers have a silver label, so that's how you can differentiate between the neon and the regular. I mean, besides reading the label, but if you have the caps off, you can also see by the color of the label. They also come in a 12 pen set, and then they also come in this Mega Box Plus set. They go right there. This is their biggest set that they have. The paper I use is also similar to the paper I use just for the regular Karin markers. So I use this Canson XL watercolor paper. I use this primarily for blending. I forgot to mention too that you want to store these vertically. So whenever you get them, store them vertically with the cap facing up. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the blendability. These blend just like the regular Karin markers, so if you have those, then you know how well they blend. So they stay wet on the paper for a really long time, so it makes it really easy to blend. You can also do a bleed into another color. It actually looks like the pink is bleeding into the yellow, so I'll just kind of help it along. If you like that bleeding effect. I like the bleeding effect personally. But these blend really well. Not really quite sure what color pattern I'm going for here, but alright, so now we're going to test the upstrokes and the downstrokes. So these are really similar to the regular Karin markers. You can get really thin upstrokes, and you can also vary your downstrokes from like a medium to a large to an even larger. I feel like these tips are a little bit more flexible than the regular Karin marker tips. Not a ton, but I feel like they give a little more bend than the other tips. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick flexibility test of the nib. So this is a regular Karin marker, and I'm going to try to apply the same amount of pressure. And then this is a neon Karin marker, and I'm going to try to apply just the same amount of pressure. So if you can see, the tips are just a little bit more flexible, I feel like, in the neons. Let's try this. So with that, I was applying the same amount of pressure, and it was slightly different. I'll do it this way so you can see. So there is a slight variation from one to the other, but I mean, you can also just control how much you're pushing to, and it shouldn't be a problem. The upstrokes are about the same, so, and that's also because of the really pointy nib, which helps with that. So a lot of people ask me to do a comparison of the neons and their matching color from the regular Brush Marker Pros. So as you can tell, the packaging is a little bit different. The one with the black is the neon, and then the one with the silver is the original Brush Marker Pro. So I'm gonna write with the neon one first, and some of them didn't actually even have a comparable regular color. But there's a big difference between the neon and the regular marker.
I felt like this one was close enough in comparison, but apparently it's not. So here I have neon orange red and just regular orange red. I feel like the tips for the neons are a little bit more flexible and they have a little more give versus the regular markers where they're a little bit more stiff.
I'm also really liking that color combination. That's neon pink and
I mean, the neons are like highlighter bright. Versus the regular. Also for the greens, I didn't think that there was anything that was really comparable to each other, so that's why I skipped the greens.
so my overall opinion of these is that I absolutely love them. I like bright colors personally. They're kind of like highlighters. I will say that some of the colors aren't as vibrant as, let's say, the neon pink, the neon orange, and the neon yellow. Those are probably the brightest, but they definitely set themselves apart from the regular Karin markers. So my overall opinion of them is that I love them and I would recommend them to anybody who likes bright colors and brush pens. Also, now seeing the comparison between the neons and the regular markers, I think it's pretty easy to see that there's not even really a comparison. So if you're thinking, well, I already have the regular ones, they're not even remotely close. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really and truly appreciate all your positive feedback on my YouTube channel, my YouTube videos, and it really helps me out and motivates me to want to make more videos. So thank you guys so much.